Hello and welcome. My name's Emily, and today I have for you a yoga sequence for the Sacral Chakra, our Swadisthana Chakra. And we can find this chakra in between this little space that we have here between the pelvis and the navel. So we have this nice little section here where we find our sacral chakra. And this chakra is intimately involved with our creative process. It generally governs our imagination and even our reproductive system. So it's important for us to maintain balance within our sacral chakra so that we can explore and experience the world with confidence, with safety and security within ourselves. So that's why we're doing this little flow today, to just bring a little bit of balance so that we can feel a bit more safe and secure within our world around us, within our creative processes, and even in our reproductive processes. And we can get started today with a nice little triangle pose. So coming to stand on your mat, and we'll begin with the right foot facing forwards and the left foot in line with the short side of the mat at the back. Hips are in line with the long side of the mat, and we can extend the arms in line with the shoulders. Inhale, reach over the front hip. Exhale, come down into your triangle pose. We can maybe rest that right hand on top of the shin. Maybe we can bring those fingers down to the mat. And we can gaze up towards the top hand here. And we're really tuning into the sensations that arise in the body today in each asana that we practice, to help ground us into our sacral chakra. Slow, deep belly breaths. One more breath. On your inhale, coming all the way back up to your center. Exhale. We can bend into that front knee and sweep the left arm through, coming into our crescent lunge. So we can come up onto the balls of the back foot here. We can always shimmy the feet out a little bit if we need some space to lengthen through this asana. And some nice deep breaths here. We can inhale, open up a little bit, reach the chest up, a little bit of a back bend. And we can connect with our sacral chakra here by imagining a nice warm orange glow in between that little space between the pelvis and the navel here. Nice deep breaths. One more breath. Inhale, open up a little bit more. Exhale, we can release, come back to standing. We can shake out those legs. And then stepping back, the right foot will come into our triangle. I'll turn around so you guys can see me. So we have the right foot at the short side of the mat. Left foot pointing to the top short side of the mat. Hips in line with the long side. Arms in line with the shoulders. Inhale, reaching over that front hip. Exhale, come down into your triangle. We can gaze up to that top hand again. And if we want to connect with our sacral chakra, we can imagine this nice orange warm glow in between the navel and the pelvis. Tuning into any sensations that may arise in the body. Maybe you feel a nice opening in the hips. Maybe you feel a sensation in this front leg. One more breath. On your next inhale, using the core, come back up to your center. Exhale, we can bend into that front knee. Sweep the right arm through, come into your crescent lunge. We can come up onto the balls of the back foot. And we can inhale, open it up. We can come into a slight back bend. Being present with any sensations in this asana. One more breath. Inhale, open up a little bit more. Exhale, mind the tree. Come back to standing, and we can just shake out those legs for a moment here, release that stretch. And then bringing the toes to the corners of the mat, the heels come in towards the center of our mat. We have a nice wide stance. As we exhale, bend into those knees and sink the hips down into our goddess pose. We can always sweep the feet out a little bit more. So we have the knees in line with the ankles here. Beautiful. Nice deep breaths. And again, we can connect with that orange glow here within our sacral chakra. Nice full deep breaths here, our yogic breath. Breathing into the belly. And keep tucking the tailbone down here. So I'll turn around so you guys can see. We're not sticking that butt out. Tuck that tailbone down. Draw down through that sacral chakra. So not only are we connecting with our root here, we are also engaging our solar plexus here. Solar plexus, our sacral chakra. Getting myself muddled up. Ooh, nice deep breaths. Tuning into the sensations in this asana. One more breath, you got this. Exhale, we can come back to stand. We can walk the feet back in again, maybe give them a little bit of a shake out just to release. And then we'll come into a standing forward fold. So we can have some space between the feet here. If we have any blocks, we can grab hold of those and just place them in front of the toes. We can bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, stand nice and tall through the spine. Exhale, hinging from the hips, we'll fold forwards. And we can either bring the hands to rest on top of our blocks, or if we can bring the hands down to the mat, we can bring them down. We'll try to stay lengthened through the legs here, but we can have a little soft bend in those knees. Tuck the chin in, back of the neck is long. And nice deep breaths into your belly. Keep the shoulders pulling down away from the ears. And again, we can visualize our nice warm orange glow. And maybe take a moment to connect it to any sensations in this asana. One more breath here. Exhale, generously bend the knees so we can bring the palms to the mats and just bring yourself down to sit. So just casually finding your way down to sit. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together here, coming into our bound angle pose. And we can draw the heels into the pelvis as close as we can, hold on to those toes. And just sit nice and tall through the spine here. Take a nice deep breath in. Just feeling and easing ourselves into this asana. And we can exhale, tuck the chin in, slowly roll down your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, drawing the crown of your head down to the mat. And again, we can visualize our warm orange glow. Tucking the chin in here so the back of the neck is long. And we're gently pulling the shoulders down the back. Tuning into any sensations that may arise. Maybe you feel a nice release down the back of the body. Maybe we feel a deep stretch in the hips, in the hip flexors, in the inner thighs. One more breath. On your inhale, slowly rolling back up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming back to sit nice and tall. We can then use the hands to just gently guide the knees together here and bring yourself so that we're sat up on the heels. And if we have a nice comfy cushion today, we may just want to grab hold of that, whether we have a bolster or we can just stack some pillows up behind us here, or maybe even rolling up a nice thick blanket. And just placing this just in front of the toes here. And we can either stay sat up on the heels, or maybe we can bring the feet out to the edges of the hips, the outsides of the hips. So the calves come out to the side a little bit here. You can kind of just shimmy your way in to bring the sit bones down to the mat. So we come into our thunderbolt pose. And we'll bring ourselves down to lying. So we can just bring the hands behind us and just really slowly, taking your time, you can make adjustments with the pillow and just bring yourself down to lie nice and comfortably on the back. And we can keep the arms down by the sides, or maybe taking the arms up overhead, lengthening through the front of the body. And again, we can connect to our sacral chakra here. We can imagine our warm orange glow. Slow, deep belly breaths. Tune into the sensations that arise. Maybe we feel this asana in the knees. Maybe we feel a nice, beautiful opening in the front of the body. Just noticing where you feel sensations in your body. Remember, if this is painful in the knees, we can always sit up on the heels instead. One more breath. Exhaling, we can bring those arms back down by the sides. And then exhaling, just casually and slowly, very gently, just slowly finding your way. We're not rushing out of these asanas today. Just bringing yourself back up to sit. We can then maybe just bring both the legs round in front and give those legs a good wiggle, just to release that deep stretch in those legs, maybe in those knees. We felt that. Great, it's beautiful. And there we have it, our nice little yoga sequence for our sacral chakra today, our Swadisthana Chakra. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little flow today. If you did, maybe like the video, save for later. You can always leave me a comment in the comments below. And please subscribe to my channel for more free yoga content. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next time. Have a lovely day. Namaste.